This tutorial is for 4th grade, Module 4, Lesson 12. In Lesson 12, we're going to look at lines of symmetry. A line of symmetry is a line that cuts through a figure so that when you fold along that line, both halves of the figure match up exactly. The first question says, circle the figures that have a correct line of symmetry drawn. So in Figure A, we have a line drawn down the middle. If we were to fold the two halves, then each half would line up directly on top of the other half. That tells me that this angle is equal to this angle, and that this right angle would match up with this angle. So yes, this figure does have a correct line of symmetry. In Figure B, we have a line that's drawn. It is not exactly at the halfway point, so if I folded along that line, these two halves would not match up, so we will not circle Figure B. Figure has a line drawn, and because this half of the shape is much wider than this half of the shape, these two halves would not match up, so this is not a correct line of symmetry. In Figure D, I have a line drawn down the middle, and if we were to fold along that line, the two halves of the semicircle would match up to each other, so this is showing a correct line of symmetry as well. The next direction says to draw all lines of symmetry for the following figures and write the number of lines of symmetry for each figure. So my first figure is a trapezoid. I couldn't draw a horizontal line of symmetry because the top half and the bottom half would not match up directly, but I could draw one right down the middle vertically. This angle would match up with this angle would match up with this angle, and the two halves would fold against each other perfectly. That means that this shape has one line of symmetry. The next shape is a square. It's been turned kind of on its side here, and a square has several lines of symmetry. If I draw one line vertically through the middle, the two halves would line up. I could also draw a horizontal line of symmetry. The top and the bottom would line up against each other. I could also start in the middle of each side and draw lines to the opposite sides. Those would create lines of symmetry as well. In all, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of symmetry in the square. This shape at the end is also a trapezoid because it has a pair of parallel sides. I cannot draw any lines of symmetry on this shape. If I were to draw a vertical line, this angle would not line up with this angle. If I were to draw a horizontal line, this angle would not line up with this angle. So this shape has 0 lines of symmetry. And here we have a few more shapes. I'm going to start with this hexagon. I know that if I start at the midpoint of a side and draw to the opposite side, that would be a line of symmetry because the two halves would fold against each other perfectly. I can do the same thing from this side to its opposite side, and my last side to its opposite side, so there's 3 lines of symmetry so far. I can also draw lines from corner to corner. So if I start at this angle and draw across the shape to the opposite angle, that would be a line of symmetry. And I'll do the same thing from this angle to its opposite angle, and then one more time from this angle to its opposite angle. So let's count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of symmetry in this shape. Okay, in the next shape, I only have 1 line of symmetry, and that would be if I drew it right here, because then those two halves would fold against each other perfectly. So I have 1 line of symmetry. The last shape, I don't have any lines of symmetry. If I tried to draw a horizontal line, the top would not line up against the bottom. If I drew a vertical line, it would be the same situation. I couldn't even draw a diagonal line because still the sides would not match up. So shape F has 0 lines of symmetry. The last section, it says half of each figure has been drawn. Complete each figure. So here I have half of a shape, and this is the line of symmetry that will show me the center of the shape. To finish drawing the shape, I'm just going to count how many boxes I have across the top. So far I have 3 boxes. That means on the other side of the line of symmetry, I need 3 more boxes. And then I'm going to just copy the vertical line, making it the same length as the original shape, and finishing out the square. So I have a line of symmetry in the middle and a complete shape. In shape B, I have a horizontal line of symmetry. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start on the right side. I count 3 squares, so I'll go 3 squares below the line of symmetry, and then 1 square horizontally, so I'll follow that. Then I will go 1 square up, and then here I have 3 squares over, 2 squares that I'll go down, and another 3 squares over, and now I just need to complete the shape. And that horizontal line shows me that I have a line of symmetry. Both sides would match up against each other.